don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello there. All right, Ghazi or Ghazi Attack. Okay, now this movie is actually named after the Pakistani submarine, I guess. I'm super confused because I was believing that this is like historically accurate, and then at the very beginning they have a disclaimer that it's just pure coincidence that people's names. I do understand that Pakistan would have their own view of the situation, and India has their own view of the situation of what happened, so they're making things up. The problem is they started doing things, and people told me through my trailer reaction that they added elements to just make it more suspenseful. I feel that it actually took away, because when you add things to make something when you add fictional elements to a story that's already intense, already the hide and seek factor of submarines is already suspenseful. And they added the girl and the woman and the little girl. They added them as they were Pakistani rebels or something like that. And it's just like they were trying to add more elements, and I'm like, it just didn't work for me. It felt forced. The whole dynamic between the captain and the second in command just reminded me of Crimson Tides. I don't know if that's accurate, because that's the thing. As soon as that disclaimer popped up, I started comparing it to other movies, and even I was thinking, is this more like A Hunt for Red October by what's his name? He just Jack Reacher, just whatever. Yeah. So I was just thinking about that. I was like, what is this real? Is this actually, because that really threw me, but apparently it is somewhat moderately based off true events, different perspective from different countries for sure. So basically the India hears rumors that there's something going down in the whatever that sea that is. So they send a sub, well, apparently all their subs, but they needed to send S-21, a rogue sub that was docked. So they decided to send them as well because they needed all the subs in the water. But they only follow that one. Because at the beginning they're talking about we need all subs, and then they only follow that one. And then they acted as if that was the only sub in the water. I mean, if you have everything out there, just don't pretend like the others don't exist. So tell me, was the sinking of that one transport vessel, I forget what it is, the oil tankers, was that historically accurate, or is that something else that was added, just like the survival of the woman and the child who were on that oil tanker? I mean, these little things that just bother me, because you don't need to add those elements. The whole hide and seek factor, like I mentioned before, of subs is absolutely, well, it's scary, because you'll ping someone meters out, thousands of meters away, and it'll take you an hour to get to them. And by the time you reach them, they could be several thousand meters in a different direction. So it's constantly hide and seek, and the whole sitting in one spot going up and down, up and down, up and down was kind of like, I get it. You were sunk 400 meters below sea level, which the sub would have crushed. It kind of did. But the fact that they were able to, there are a lot of little things that threw me. I was just like, they're just adding this for suspense, clearly. So I feel like it fell short because they just didn't capitalize. If you're going to add more fictitious elements, add it more on the hide and seek factor. Don't add people, don't add female characters to the sub. Don't add, because I don't believe that the Pakistani sub launched 4 torpedoes, 3 all at once, and missed every single one by an inch. I mean, centimeter. Let's use the correct measurement system here, not the imperial, the metric. Yeah. So it's just like, I love sub combat. I love naval combat. This movie, however, just because, like, that's the problem. I take a lot of, especially in these types of films, from the beginning of the film. And the fact that they did a few things that the whole disclaimer, I understand why that had to be there. But at the same time, it started me noticing all the fictitious aspects about it. It made me focus on those things. I don't like focusing on those things because I was like, honestly, when they launched the torpedoes at the Indian sub, I was actually, it was tense. I was nervous. I held my breath. Because that's great. I love that. But it's just the two subs for the last hour of the film knew exactly where each other were, and they were literally just staying in the same spot. So I was like, okay, that's kind of lost its intensity. It's only got like, just the whole torpedoes being launched and you have to hold your breath. It kind of got played out after like the third launch, I guess, or the second launch. So yeah, amazing movie. I just really wish that the disclaimer would have been worded a little differently. I think that's my biggest issue, because all my complaints have to do with that disclaimer at the very beginning. And I understand why it's there. I understand. But yeah, I should have skipped it. I shouldn't have bothered listening to it. I would have enjoyed the movie far better, but that's my problem. I focused on it, and it just led me to notice everything else that was... I mean, it's fascinating that this movie was shot simultaneously in two different languages. I'm curious to see it in the other language to see if it's even similar. If the acting is... Because I'm pretty sure dialogue is pretty much the same. It's just there are different scenes that would change depending on, well, actors will never act the same way twice. So they can attempt to, but they might take an extra step, or they might look a different way. It just... I'm curious. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I enjoyed the movie. I recommend it. I just skip the disclaimer. That's all I'll say. Just skip the disclaimer. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Toodles.